Welcome and welcome back to Pero, podcast.
Mhm.
Today we are going to be talking about Project Hail Mary.
Yeah.
So grab yourself a big snack and a big drink and sit down and join us while we converse. All right, guys. So here's the thing. Colette had a number one pick book last year, and it was Project Hail Mary. I didn't think it was her number one book, and it surprised me, but not because she didn't rant and rave, just because I thought another one she ranted and raved more, but really she didn't. It was this book. So this was her top book, and she wouldn't shut up about it. You can watch her previous videos and see how often it came up after she read it. So I was like, fine, I will listen to the book. And I listened and I fell in love. And then the movie came out. And we were able to go watch the movie, and we were graced by her beautiful sister's presence. And we enjoyed the movie. And we're just going to go over a few things that we thought about the movie, some differences we found. Now, I'm going to start off by saying that both Colette and I really like the movie. As far as a film adaptation, for as much information as was in the book, in my opinion, they did a good job.
I agree.
With the movie. I would have just switched some things out, but that's just me, and I'm sure there's other people. But from our perspective, it was a really good, adaptation.
Yeah.
Now, let's get on to the stuff that we liked, found, all that in the movie. Okay. I want to start off by saying the main character is Ryland Grace, and he is a man who wakes up on a spaceship, has no idea why he's on the spaceship, what is going on. He has no memories, nothing. He just wakes up. There's a body on his left that's somebody's dead. There's a body on his right and they're dead. And he has no idea why he's on this spaceship at all. Now, he realizes that he does have knowledge of the stuff that's in there, the equipment, certain things, but he just doesn't remember anything. So we start getting flashbacks, and little by little, everything unravels.
Right.
Basically, the sun is losing.
Astrophage, y'all.
Yeah. Even basically, this is what's going on. The sun is losing its power.
Astrophage.
Okay. The sun is losing its power, which is going to cause the earth to die. Because without the sun, how does everything, you know what I mean? So, let's get into it. Let me take a pause so I can bring my son back to orbit. Okay? One moment, please. So I fixed my astrophage problem, as you can see. Let me stop. All right. So basically, there's this thing called astrophage that is slowly taking the sun's power away. So in the book, we go to a flashback. So we go back and forth because his memories start coming back. And we find out that even though he wakes up wondering, okay, let me give you some context. He wakes up, he's looking at the spaceship, he sees some things, he's like, oh my God, the kids would love this. So he's like, wait a minute, why am I so excited to show kids something? What's wrong with me?
I'm a grown man.
Why do I love kids? Like, I just remembered what my place looks like. No kids live there. I'm a bachelor. Like, what am I? Then he remembers he's a science teacher. He is not a Chester the molester. He's a science teacher for high schoolers. I think it was high schoolers.
No,
anyway,
grade schoolers.
Grade?
Grade.
Okay. I guess that didn't matter to me. He was a teacher. Anyways, he used to be a researcher, wrote a paper. People laughed at it. They scoffed at it. They're like, yeah, right. Okay. And his theory was that there could be life without water.
Correct.
Okay. Now, this is something, I'm saying this because this is something that was not really talked about in the movie.
Well, we don't know. We missed the first 10 minutes.
True.
Unfortunate.
True. Anyways, wasn't even our fault. We were all there on time. I just want you guys to know those 10 minutes were not our fault. But I guess, anyways, no, we're not doing this. So he is recruited by Eva Stratt, who recruits him to help her get these 4 scientists up to par with knowledge, help her figure out how to work with astrophage, how they could get rid of astrophage. Because of the paper he wrote that she read, she's like, you're exactly who we need to help us with this.
Right.
So in the movie, we go back and forth. And on the ship, he starts figuring stuff out. He comes in contact with another life form while he's in space.
Yeah.
This little guy's name is Rocky.
Rocky.
Now, another thing that I don't believe that they really portrayed as accurately as they did in the book is how much of geniuses, am I saying that right? Rocky and Grace were. They were both super intelligent. Like Rocky was just like he was an engineer for his ship. Now his ship is way bigger than the Project Hail Mary. Like way bigger. I'm talking about, I would say like maybe, do they mention it?
It was like triple the size, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I don't remember anyways. I forgot where I was going with that. But oh yeah, he was an engineer on his ship. He wasn't even one of the scientists. He was just an engineer. And everybody on Rocky's ship passed away. Everybody. And he didn't, because he was all by his little lonesome on the other side of the ship I believe the engine room is what we would call it. So for some reason he survived. You find out later in the book it's because he wasn't exposed to the radiation like the other people were. Anyways, but in the movie they just kind of like make him seem like a mechanic.
Yeah.
But he's so smart. Like he's a genius. I would say even smarter than Grace in his own,
He might be, especially in math. I wish they would have kept the math part of it in the movie. Like that to me was
hilarious.
Yes.
Yes, I agree with you totally. Now, Eva Stratt brings him on. Now she's someone else that was portrayed a little bit different in the movie. To me, like in the movie they showed her, she had a nice side, she in the book she was no nonsense.
It was very straightforward.
Did she even have a heart? I don't think so. But honestly, that's kind of what she sacrificed to save humanity. She sacrificed her compassion and her empathy.
She had on blinders to get done what needed to get done. She didn't have time for feelings and emotions and being friends. And I don't care if you're a family. I don't care. The world needs to live.
Yep. Like we're not going to live. Our kids are going to have to deal with this. She didn't have kids, but and that was another thing that wasn't shown in the movie. Like in the book, there was a part where she was being sued. Remember that she was in court and all the countries were in there. She was being sued because she was doing a lot of illegal things to get this project done. She was given authorization to do this, but people did not agree with that authorization. So they tried to sue her. She won, but it just showed you in that scene in the book, she's just cold-hearted.
And walked out of the court too. Like she was like, I don't have to go to court. And they were like, well, you can't do this. And she said, I have been given authority by all the governments of the world. This case is a waste of my time when I could be saving the world. And then she was like, and I don't have time for this. So figure it out amongst yourselves, and left.
Yep.
And then the judge, if I'm not mistaken, the judge got something that was like, "Hey, leave her alone." And they were like,
Yep.
"Oh,
Yep.
we can't touch it."
She won that without even being there. She
Yep.
won that walking out of the courtroom.
Yeah.
So how did she get Grace on this ship, you ask?
Mm.
Oh, she forced him on the ship.
Mhm.
She drugged him. Now, this is something that's also not in the book. I mean, not in the movie. They show him getting dragged on there and the Acoma, but they don't show how she drugged him with the memory loss stuff.
They said it.
He is not a hero at all. Like, he doesn't want to save humanity. He wants humanity to be saved, but
He
he's
don't
like,
want to do it.
I'm not the guy. Like, I don't want to
Yeah.
do this. Like, so in the book, you get more detail from what Colette. I didn't catch it in the movie. So in the book, they put him under a coma, but she also gives him this extra drug that erases his memory because she knows, she has faith.
I think the short term, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, she has
Yeah.
faith that he'll start trying to figure out what's going on, and then
Right.
he'll get so caught up in it that he won't stop, and he'll do what she sent him out there to do. And she even mentions in the book how this is a big risk that she's taking, but she has faith and trusts that he's going to do what he has to do to save humanity.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, I don't remember that part in the book, but it's fine. In the movie, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, no, I didn't like the way they did it in the movie because that stood out to me because, like you said in the book, it was way more detail and how he gave the whole speech about how he didn't want to do it. And then in the book, it was like, I mean, in the movie, it was like, yeah, we're going to give you a drug. You won't remember anything. And we're going to put you on a ship. And then you see him start running. And I'm like, I felt like you skated over that part.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, now when she recruits him, they have to figure out how to kill the astrophage.
Mhm.
And to do this, they have to create astrophage. In the book, they talk about how 1/4, right? It's 1/4 of the Sahara Desert that's covered in solar powers and panels so that they can create this.
Yes.
They also blew up some stuff in Antarctica under the glaciers to be able to release methane to like keep things going
Yes.
in the world.
Or the earth warm. Because if we lose the sun, it gets cold.
Yeah.
So
And I think that's something I don't think I know that in the movie, that it's severe, that the world's gonna die. But it's like in the book, which naturally, again, not coming for the movie at all. I think they did a great job.
Yes.
Just in the book, you get more of like how dire the situation is and like how crazy it is. So they're training these 4 astronauts, and these astronauts all have a special gene that allows them to stay in a coma for as long as they need to stay, which is like 3 to 4 years before they get into this galaxy.
They're leaving from our galaxy to another galaxy. Kind of like Ursa Dex. Continue.
She's on her alien kick again, guys. Like, if it was like right now, I could be like, oh, you know what? Let's stop recording. And she'll be like, great, let's go. Cool. I'm back to my aliens. Like, so yeah. Anyways. So while he's in this galaxy, he runs into Rocky, and I know the movie couldn't fit all of just the relationship. Let's just talk about that. Let's not even talk about, yes.
I'm mad they didn't put that in there.
You know what else I'm mad they didn't put in? When he was like, I'm a scary monster and you're a leaky blob. Remember?
There were so many funny moments. And mind you, the movie was funny because the book is funny.
Hilarious. I think the book was funnier.
So I appreciate them keeping that same funniness about it. But I just felt like, I don't know, certain things that stuck out to me, I wish they would have kept too. Especially the math part.
Yes. Okay. So throughout the book, anytime any math had to be done, Rocky was clowning Grace.
Yeah.
about him sucking at math.
Yes.
Um,
And then he said, "You're the world's greatest scientist and you can't do math?"
yeah.
And he was like, "Hey, I can do math, just not as fast as you." So I remember they were trying to find calculations for something. I think this is when they were trying to go into the atmosphere of the astrophage world, whatever they call it.
Talcida,
Telstar. Yeah, that.
Talcida.
And Rocky was doing the calculations and he was like, "So you're saying this is in human numbers?" And he was like, "Yes, yes, yes, yes. Whenever I give you numbers, it's always human numbers. You're bad at math. Stop. This is what we need." He was like, "I'm not bad at math." Like he was upset.
Oh my gosh. The book was, I mean, they were both so good. I do think that the book, of course, naturally,
Mhm.
you get more of the connection between
Right.
Grace and Rocky.
Yeah.
So the four scientists, they all have this gene. This gene lets you
Mhm.
stay in a coma without dying. And the whole time, Eva Stratt knew
Mhm.
that Ryland Grace also had this gene. She was
Correct.
so strategic. She had him in every meeting,
Mhm.
anything that had anything to do with
Correct.
Project Hail Mary. Ryland was there,
He was
right next
aware.
to her, learning it, putting
Mhm.
input, gathering, taking notes, all of that. And that
Following
was
what the astronauts had to do, because that was his whole big argument about not going. He's like, "I'm not an astronaut." She was like, "You were at every meeting. You've been to all of their trainings. You've seen." He was like, "But I didn't do it." He was like, "But you know."
Mhm.
I was like, "Oh, you dirty snide girl."
Yeah, yeah. Um Now in the movie, they made Strat out to be a little nicer, and they kind of hinted at like a romantic,
Which I
not
was very,
romantic, an attraction. Let's just say
yeah,
an attraction because not romantic. I'm not, but that was nowhere in the book at all.
yeah. And
At
it
all.
was so funny because when they were doing that in the movie, me and Liz looked at each other like, "It's not in the book."
As soon as that scene happened, like, no, what are they doing? They
Janelle was
better
like, "What
not.
happened?" I was like, "That's not in the book." And when we got out the movie, my sister Debbie went with us and she said, "I didn't like how they try to make it seem like they were trying." I said, "Me and Liz were talking about that. It's
Yeah.
not in the book."
So there was an incident
Mhm.
where in the movie they show both in the movie and the book where one of the facilities gets blown up and they
Mhm.
lose two of their astronauts, and this is what causes her to be like, you got to be the one to go.
Right.
Anyways, they get him on the ship. Now, one thing in the book,
Mhm.
Ryland Grace was so geeked to see all of this space stuff. Like he was not scared. Like he was a little like, what the
Yeah.
hell? But he was more geeked. Like he was such a science geek on
He
that
was such a nerd
spaceship.
about it. Yeah.
Yes. In the movie, they made him more scared than
Mhm.
they did geeked. Um, so anyways, he's on the ship and he's geeked. He's seeing all this stuff. He's seeing the galaxy. He sees
Mhm.
Rocky's ship. Him and Rocky become friends. They figure out what they have to figure out about the astrophage. But what they didn't realize is that the Tau Amoeba, I'm
Mhm.
saying that right,
Mhm.
also is not good. That's what attacks the
The
astrophage.
astrophage. Mhm.
Now, the astrophage is what's fueling Ryland Grace. And I know I'm probably butchering all this, but the astrophage is what's
What fuels the
fueling
ship.
the ship. So when
Mhm.
they find this, Rocky and him find this other planet, and they're like, oh, we could get what we need, the Talmiba. They
Mhm.
get it. They're able to figure it out. Rocky goes to go home. Rocky gives Ryland the grass,
The astrophage.
the astrophage to
Mhm.
fuel the ship to go back home
Because
because
it was
they
a one-way trip for him. He
one-way
knew he
trip.
was gonna go die.
Also, this was not on my notes, but the way okay, so in the astronauts were given the option to pick how they were going to go out because this is a one-way ship.
Mhm.
I mean trip. One of them, I think she was Russian.
Yeah.
it would be a very Russian answer. So she's like, I want to go out by a heroin overdose. They did not say that way in the movie.
Yeah, they just did it, and I was like, it was a focal point in the book because he was like, what?
Heroin. And they go into detail as to why. But I guess with the movie, like, they don't want to make
the movie was 2.5 hours long. I guess they have to cut down.
And that's what I'm saying. That's not something, if you think about it, they're gonna watch, people are gonna watch this movie with their kids. And it's like, you don't want heroin to sound enticing. Because she really did make it sound. She really did make it sound. She was like, you know what?
I get you.
I want to go out like that. I heard it feels great. I want to go out like that. I'm like, okay, that's wild. Right. But okay. So they I don't even really think that needed to be in the movie. But that was just it was just a funny point to me because of how Ryland Grace reacted to that. And he was like, what? So anyways, so when they get to Talmiba, Rocky goes on his ship because they think they have it figured out. All of a sudden, Grace Ryland's ship shuts down, which it really didn't shut down that much in the movie. Again, I can see why they did that. Like Colette said, the movie was 2.5 hours long. We don't need 30 minutes of his ship being shut down. Because, no.
So,
Go ahead.
Elizabeth loves this one movie about these elves, and they have a ring. What's that thing called?
Colette, you know what it's called. Lord of the Rings.
Literally. Thank you, God. I was just like, L-O something, and I could have named. Anyways, Lord of the Rings is 4 hours. People who have read the book love the movie. Everybody knows. The people that read the book, we always say the book was better. People that have read the book love the movie. You know why? Because it was 4 hours, and they went into detail about everything.
And they still left out a lot.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I could have did the next 30 minutes. I would have sat there for a 3-hour movie. I feel like
I was not waiting for the movie to be over. So I'm with you. But not everybody reads the book. And they would be like,
why? What I'm saying is, if it's grasping you, you're gonna watch it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, true. So. Very true. Very true. So his ship shuts down. In the book, it's a lot longer than what they did in the movie. And it's a lot more drastic. Because while his ship is shut down, he remembers that Rocky's ship is made of Talmiba. Xenonite. And the astrophage feeds off of it. It's attracted to it.
So what happened was they were doing their experiments. So he did the experiments in the xenon plates that Rocky had created. So it built up a tolerance, I guess you would say, to it. So it was started leaking out and attacking the ship. So then he was like, oh shit, Rocky, his whole ship is made of xenonite. And he had to sit there and really make a decision. Do I send this information back to the Earth and let them know what's going on? Or do I go home and F Rocky? And he saves his friend.
He does. And we're going to stop there about the movie. Because basically that's the whole movie. But we're not giving away the end. Now, one thing that was not touched about either, that I felt was very important, was when this part happened, that he had to make this decision. He was like, I can make it home and be fine, even with all this that's going on. I have enough food, and just enough gas to make it home. I have enough gas to make it to Rocky and save him. And then I'll have just enough to get home, but I won't have food to get home. Food for him was such a big issue in the book.
Yes.
Several times throughout the book, they touched on, okay, I only have this much food left. And And the thing is that Rocky does not eat the same. They don't eat the same. Rocky doesn't even need water to survive.
Right.
Which that's another thing that wasn't in the movie, that was in the book. His
Yes.
theory about life being able to be life without water.
You can substantiate life without water, correct.
Mm-hmm.
And that was something I wish they would have touched on more, because I felt like when he finally figured out what Rocky was, what world he came from, how they lived, he was like, I was effing right. I am a genius. like they didn't do that. And I don't know if they touched, again, we missed the first 10 minutes, so I don't even know if they touched on the paper that he wrote, which is why he was brought into it. Honestly, I kind of want to go back and rewatch.
Me too.
Because I felt like we came in like, 10, 15 minutes, and it was like,
Yeah. And not just because we missed the first 10, 15 minutes, like we would rewatch the movie just to rewatch it. It was good.
Yes.
Because just touching on that again, we are not talking shit about this movie because it was great for an adaptation.
Absolutely.
These are just a few of our things that we liked from the book that we wish we could have like inserted in the movie somehow.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
and I'd like to point out, we took our friend Janella with us.
Mm-hmm.
Janella is not going to read that type of book. I don't even think she would have watched that movie on her own.
I honestly, Project Hail Mary was on my radar because of people talking about it and because of you ranting and raving about it. But it honestly, even with that, if you wouldn't have pushed me to pick up that book, I wouldn't have done it. So Janella really enjoyed the movie. And I was a little bit worried because I know my brother is like obsessed with Star Wars, and I just think Star Wars is okay. So I know what it's like. I know I'm a bad sister. I accept it. It is.
You're not bad. It's just funny to me because you love Lord of the Rings, and I just no. But I love Star Wars.
Fairy, elves, magic,
and that's what I'm saying. I love Star Wars.
He's more sci-fi. It's okay, Colette.
I know.
You can be an alien princess. I would be a fairy princess, alien princess, fairy princess. It's fine.
We have sense why I read these books. Continue.
The movie was funny, but the book was way funnier. Again, I'm going back to what Colette said with the math between Rocky and then the eating. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So when Ryland,
I don't like how they did that in the movie. That was the one thing I didn't like in the movie. I was like, no. Because he was like, is that how you eat, Ryland Grace? And he was like, yeah, how do you eat? And he just showed him. And I was like, no, that was a huge thing. He said it was like a thing in their culture. You don't watch them eat.
It was a private thing.
Correct.
And this just goes to show how I don't pick up on certain things sometimes. I didn't picture Rocky fully rock like a rock.
I did. Because I think we talked about it before I went to the movie, before we went, and she was like, how do you picture him? And I was like, a rock spider. That's what I saw.
I pictured him like something inside of a casing. Yeah. But also in the movie, he sent Strat a video. Like that didn't happen in the book. I liked the touch in the movie. So but he just sent it back. There was like no continuous relationship with Strat. Like there was no video. Like
and I didn't like, or I'm not gonna say I didn't like, but I wish they would have talked on the fact that Rocky was like, we don't have this type of technology on my planet. So he wanted to take one of the laptops back when they were separating. And he was like, we need this. We don't have laptops. We don't. And like he had to teach him. And it was so funny because he was like, he's a genius and dumb at the same time. He can do math like it's nothing. He can build anything, but he doesn't know about the laws of relativity.
Yeah.
So he was like, they're advanced in some ways and behind in some ways.
There was a point I don't remember now, but also, so when Ryland Grace goes over to Rocky's ship to save him when that's Talmiba, sorry, you guys might hear my dogs whining because Tilly Marie. Tilly. Anyways. I forgot where I was. Oh, so when he goes to save Rocky, he tries to save him, and he like Rocky has all this black soot all over him, and this is why I thought he was in a case because he cleaned the vents to Rocky. The vents. Remember?
Yeah, but that was when he came on his ship. When they were talking in that little tunnel tube thing.
Okay, fine, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. So, anyways, he cleans Rocky. He cleans all the black, as much as of the black soot that he could get off of him. And when Rocky comes to, he's like, "Why did you do that?" And he's like, "What are you talking about? I was trying to save you, Rocky. I tried to get all that stuff." He's like, "No, that's what was saving me. I needed that."
Pretty much like a scab. It was what it was.
It was like, "I'm good, but next time, don't clean me."
Let that happen.
But it was, for me, that was a funny moment. We really didn't see much of that saving, but again, that was probably just something that they weighed out. Like, we could keep this in, but like Colette said, I'm with you. Like, I think we should have like a book edition, a reader's edition of movies, and not.
I agree.
Because
do it like how you did. What's the name of that movie? That DC movie when they had the Snyder Cut. Do that. Snyder Cut's version was 4 hours long. I felt like his version was way better than what they released in the theaters. I'm just saying, like Liz says, reader's edition, reader's cut, whatever you want to call it, do that. And then release the one that you have in the theaters. I'd pay the extra to do the readers just because I know you're going to keep it to the book, if that makes sense.
Yes, I'm with you. Because another thing, and it might have been something that I missed. So when he saves Rocky, they have to figure out the food situation, and they end up testing Grace's protein. Like they create what they call in the book me burgers, and it's basically just meat created from Ryan's protein.
And he was like, people might think it's disgusting, but I love a meat burger.
Yeah. So that's important for you to know at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Also, there was no movie theater in the book.
Yeah, no.
It was a nice touch, but again, that's one of those things. It's like, did we need that, or did we need more things that you guys left out from the book? You know?
Right. I agree with that.
It was a nice touch, though.
But overall, the movie itself, out of 10, what do you rate it?
The movie, as far as film adaptation, or like if I would have watched the movie without the book?
Both.
Or okay. So film adaptation, I would say an 8.
I agree with that.
I would say an 8 because there was room, in my opinion. Now, again, this is just me talking out my ass because I am not a director, producer, none of that. So, I do think that there's things that could have been switched out. Like I said, the theater, I would rather have no theater and more about their relationship and the just like
the interaction between the two,
the math jokes, and how much smarter they were than how they made in the movie. So I would say 8, and if I would have never read the book, it would have easily been a 10 for me.
Totally
easily. Ryan Gosling, and again, I don't think Ryan Gosling's fine. I think he's a good actor. He is not. Colette.
Go ahead, Liz. Go ahead. Speak your blasphemy. Go ahead.
But he's a great actor, and I loved how I loved his movie. This movie he did, his movie.
I think it is his movie. If I'm not mistaken, he bought the rights to the book, which is why he made the movie.
Okay. Get it, Ryan. I wonder if Eva read it.
Her fellow Cuban princess queen.
I love her. But so
And then the
yeah,
book. What do you rate the book?
the book, I called Colette sobbing twice, I think, 2 or 3
Yes.
times, sobbing, like, not just like, "Oh my God." I was like, "Why did you do this
The
to me?"
ending for me, I didn't get that from the movie. And that's again not to say it's a bad
Correct.
ending, but the book, it left me with no questions. I loved the end. You know what it was? The perfect find. The ending was perfect to me.
Mhm.
It was just the perfect.
Another thing, I don't remember, but
Mhm.
did Rocky, like, let him know, "Hey, the star is getting stronger,"
Yep.
in the movie?
I ain't gonna hold you. I missed that part.
I don't
Something was
remember that he
happening.
did.
Yeah, I just remembered. Well, I don't want to.
And oh, yeah. Anyways, guys, that is our take on Project Hail Mary, the book and the movie. So we recommend watching it. We recommend watching it, reading the book, both great.
Audio
Both
was
are great.
fantastic. I listened to it on audio. I thought that was great.
Yes, yes. The narrator did amazing. Amazing. And the way that
Mhm.
they did the sounds and Rocky.
Mhm.
Oh, I just love Rocky.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
So let us know if you've read the book and
Mhm.
watched the movie, or just read the book, or just watched the movie. Let us know your thoughts below.
Yep.
We would love to chat. So thank you guys so much for joining us for another book versus screen.
Yep. Mhm.
And we will see you guys next time. Please like, share, subscribe, and follow us on all socials: Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And we will see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.